Hi, I'm Felicia Diggs, the Teen Library Assistant at Durham County Library at North Regional Branch. And today I'm going to teach you how to make potato soup from scratch. I hope you enjoy it. My family usually does. I enjoy making it and they enjoy eating it. Thank you. Okay, so while my potatoes are simmering, I've already chopped up my green onions, and you should have 2/3 a cup of butter and 2/3 a cup of flour. I've already partially melted this to give us a better time. I'm going to cut on my eye and pour this in. You want to pour it in and you want it to let it melt in the pan. This is going to be your base for your soup. Now, once it's good and melted, which this is pretty good and melted now because I'm stirring it, you're going to want to add the 2/3 a cup of flour. As you're doing it, you're going to want to stir it. You don't want to just leave it. You want to make sure all the flour gets good and in here. You don't want to have just dry flour. Now it's made a paste right now, which is good because you're going to start adding your milk to this paste. You're not going to add all the milk at the same time because then you're just going to have paste underneath milk. You're going to add a little bit at a time and continue to stir it. As I've said before, I am a messy cooker, so don't be surprised. If you don't have a whisk, don't be upset. Don't go out and try to buy a whisk. You can still use a spoon, use a big spoon. You're going to want to try to get all these clumps out because later it can make clumpy soup. Now, I'm trying to get all my clumps out until it's all nice and smooth. Your pot should be already warmed up from the milk, from butter, melting the butter. Make sure you get in the creases and in the edges because flour likes to hide there and it likes to create surprises later. I'm going to add more. This is going to make sure that your soup stock is all nice and thick. Now, if you recall from the recipe at the beginning, it asked for 7 cups of milk. This is only 2 that I'm putting in so far. Now, look at how nice and smooth that is. I'm going to turn up my eye some more so that it can start getting really good and hot because you want it to be at a boil once you're finished. I'm going to add some more of the milk. I tend to do it 2 cups at a time so that I can keep track. I also do it a little bit at a time so that I can make sure that it gets all good and stirred in. Okay, hopefully you were stirring as it was boiling, and now this is after simmering. You're going to want to start adding your other ingredients. Look at how nice and thick my soup is. Now you want to make sure that you did stir during the boiling, because you don't want the flour to stick to the bottom and cause scorching. I'm going to start with my cheese. I use fresh cheese and grate it myself because it just melts better. It tastes better to me. As you can see, I didn't put it all in. I want to stir it in and make sure it's getting good and mixed in and melty. You can tell that when it starts melting because the color will change. As I've said before, it is always good to wash your hands before starting cooking. I always wash my hands before cooking, during cooking, gathering ingredients. Now my cheese is mixed in. It's looking good. I'll go ahead and add my bacon. Now it calls for 12 slices of bacon. I really do just use the whatever bacon, the already cooked bacon. And make sure when you do that you get the little piece out. That's not fun to chew on. I use about a cup of bacon. Put the piece back because it does keep it fresh. And stir it in. Look at how all that's coming together. And now my sour cream. Haha, look at that sour cream. When you're doing the sour cream, try to hit it in the middle to move it out. As it warms up, it'll loosen up. You'll know that it's fully mixed in because it's going to change the color of your soup again. It's going to give it a lighter texture. It's going to thin it out just a little bit. Okay. And once it is all stirred in together, you, as the cook, get to decide when anybody else gets to eat it. That is how you make your baked potato soup. Thank you very much. Brought to you by Durham County Library.